Silence. Om chanting. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good morning, students. In the last class, we discussed about the periodic properties of elements. We have listed so many properties like atomic size, ionization energy, electron affinity, electron negativity, melting and boiling point, valency, oxidation state, density, atomic volume, and many more. Out of which we discussed about the atomic size. Then we have seen that how this atomic size is increasing along a group and decreasing along a period. Also we discuss about the ionic size, okay, how to find out the ionic size and how to compare the ionic size of isoelectronic species. Also we discuss about the ionization energy. What is ionization energy? Okay, and how the ionization energy varies along a period and along a group. The two main reasons responsible for the increase or decrease of ionization energy that we discussed. We have seen with increasing of nuclear charge, the ionization energy increases. With the increase of atomic size, the ionization energy decreases. So, in a period, on moving from left to right, due to the combined effect of increasing nuclear charge and decreasing atomic size, the ionization energy goes on increasing. However, along a group from top to bottom, due to increase of atomic size, the ionization energy decreases. So these two things already we discussed. Okay. Now the next one is for the electronic confusion. How the ionization energy depends upon the electronic configuration. We know whenever we are going to remove an electron from the valence shell, the atom loses its electron and getting converted into a positive ion. Now, and also if you add electron to the atom, that atom will convert into a negative ion. Now, the purpose of losing or gaining electron is to acquire the stable electronic configuration, and this stable electronic configuration means what? The completely filled or half filled orbital. Suppose we have P, if P is 6 there, if 6 electrons are there in the p subshell, it is completely filled. If 2 electrons are there in the s subshell, it is completely filled. So, atoms always are trying to have the stable electronic configuration. And we have the noble gases. Here you see helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Helium 1s2, neon 1s2 2s2 2p6, okay, argon 1s2 2s2 2p6, 3s2 3p6, 4s2 4p6, 5s2 5p6, 6s2 6p6 and 7s2 7p6. That means the entire here in this case all the elements are having the stable octet. As for helium is having a stable doublet. So if we have only one cell and that one cell contains 2 electron, that is called stable doublet, and that is your stable electronic configuration. If more than one cell is there, then if the valence cell contains your 8 electrons, okay, then that is what will be stable octet. Okay, and it is stable electronic configuration. Here you 2s2 p6, 3s2 p6, 4s2 4p6, 5s2 5p6, 6s2 6p6, and 7s2 7p6. They are called what will be stable electronic configuration. So because they have already a stable electronic configuration, they don't want to lose electron. If you want to remove electron from the valence cell, because already they are stable, we have to spend much more amount of energy. That means the ionization energy will be more. So that's why when we move in a period, the last group, that is the noble gases, are having the highest ionization energy. So noble gases are having the highest ionization energy in the respective period. Okay, if you compare, you see, if I say you see your lithium 520.2 ionization energy, okay, first ionization energy. You see beryllium 899.4. We compare here to boron, 800, then 1086, then 1402.3, then 1313.9, then 1681, then 2080.6. So here neon is having the 2080.6 is the ionization enthalpy here. So in the period, this one is having the highest ionization energy. This is because of what? Because of the stable electronic configuration. Again you see, so normally we know when we move in a period from left to right, the ionization energy is going on increasing. Okay, but here you see beryllium. If I say about beryllium is having the ionization energy of 899.4, but boron is having what, 800.6. So boron is having less ionization energy as compared to beryllium. Okay, so ionization energy of beryllium is more than boron. But normally we discuss what? Ionization energy increases along a period. So boron should have more ionization energy as compared to what? Beryllium. But here what happens? Beryllium is what? 899.4 is what? 800.6. Small cases. So why is it so? You see, beryllium 1s2 2s2, boron 1s2 2s2 2p1. So here the 2s is what? Completely filled, 2s2. But here we have what? 2p1, neither completely filled nor half filled. Okay, so if you want to remove the electron from this beryllium, so we have to spend more energy because it's a stable electron. It's having a stable electronic configuration. Okay, so due to stable electronic configuration, the beryllium is having the higher ionization energy as compared to what? Boron. Okay, so if I arrange, first of all, what will happen? We have the lithium, the ionization energy, lithium. Then what? Then your boron. Then what? Beryllium. Then what? Carbon. Then nitrogen. Okay. Again, here you see, if I compare group 15 and group 16, here you see, group 15 and group 16. You see, group 15 will have 1402.3 and oxygen, nitrogen is having 1402.3, oxygen 1313.9. We know the ionization energy increases along the period, so oxygen should have more than nitrogen, but actually what? The nitrogen will be having higher ionization energy as compared to oxygen. Why is it so? You know nitrogen is having what? So nitrogen is having what? NO7 1s2 2s2 2p3, but oxygen what? Oxygen 80 what? 1s2 2s2 2p4. So here nitrogen is what? 2p3, that means what? The p is half filled here. We know p orbital contains 6 electrons, so p3 here half filled. So completely filled or half filled orbitals are more stable. Here nitrogen is a half filled orbitals 2p3, and here oxygen 2p4, neither half filled nor completely filled. So because the nitrogen atom, the orbital is half filled, is stable. So if we want to remove the electron from this 2p, we need more energy as compared to oxygen. So what will happen? Ionization energy of nitrogen is more than what? Oxygen. Okay. So if I write the order, first I will get boron, then carbon, then oxygen, then nitrogen, then fluorine, then neon. Okay. So if I write the entire period, you see I am writing. First of all, I will have order: lithium, then boron, then beryllium, then carbon, okay, then oxygen, then nitrogen, then fluorine, then ionization energy. Okay, so lithium we will have 520.2, 520.2, boron 800.6, beryllium 899.4, okay, carbon 1086.4, oxygen 1313.9, nitrogen here 1402.3, 1681, neon 2080.6. Okay, so gradually when you move from left to right, so though ions is decreasing, but here you see, here in this case, okay, group 2 and 13, and here 15 and 16, there is exception. That means see, all the elements of group 2 are having higher ionization energy as compared to group 13. Okay. Similarly, all the elements of group 15 will have the higher ionization energy as compared to group 16. Okay. So already we have compared here. So nitrogen what 1402, 1313, 1011, 999, 9460, 940. Okay. So in this way, also you can compare here beryllium 899, 800, 737, 577, okay, 598, 578. That means what? The elements of group 2 is having higher value of ionization energy as compared to group 13 and 15 more than 16. Normally it increases. Okay. This is what due to stable electronic configuration. Okay. Now screening effect or shielding effect. What is screening effect or shielding effect? See, when we consider the atom, we have the nucleus here at the center. Then after we have what? Here the nucleus, with the orbit here, orbit here, orbit here. Okay. Suppose here is the valence electrons is there. Now nucleus is exerting its force of attraction on each orbit, right? If we have more number of electrons in between the valence electron and the nucleus, or you can say if we have the more number of orbits in between the nucleus and the valence shell, then the nucleus will spend its energy to attract the electron of each orbit. Okay, that's why the exact nuclear charge on the valence cells will be less. So the orbits in between the nucleus and the valence shell screens or shields the effect of nucleus on the valence shell. This is called what? Screening effect or shielding effect. That means the number of cells becomes more and more. Accordingly, the force of attraction of the nucleus is going on decreasing. Okay, so more the screening effect, less will be the force of attraction of the nucleus on the valence shell. And so one can easily remove the electron. So you can say the ionization energy decreases. So this case is happening when you move in a group from top to bottom. So when we are moving in a group from top to bottom, what happens? The number of cells is increasing. So this increasing number of cells is decreasing the effect of the nucleus on the valence shell. Okay, so that's why the ionization energy is going on what? Decreasing. Okay. Then you have penetration of subshell. What is this one? See, the orbit which is more closer to the nucleus, that is called what? More penetrated to the nucleus. If from that orbit we want to remove the electron, we have to spend more energy as compared to the other orbit which is away from the nucleus, or which is not more penetrated toward the nucleus. For example, S orbital is more closer to the nucleus as compared to P, because we know P comes after S. We have 1s, then 2s, then 2p, right? So if we want to remove the electron from 2s and 2p, then obviously more energy will be required to remove the electron from 2s as compared to 2p, because 2s is more closer to the nucleus as compared to 2p. So if I see beryllium and magnesium, beryllium and boron, see here 1s2, 2s2, here 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. So here we will remove the electron from the 2s, but here from what? 2p, and S orbital is more penetrated to the nucleus than 2p. That's why we need more energy to remove the electrons from the 2s of beryllium as compared to the 2p of the boron, and hence the ionization energy of beryllium is more than boron. So why the ionization energy of beryllium is more than boron? Two reasons are there. One is what? The stable electronic configuration. Other what? The penetration of subshell. Clear? So this is about what the ionization energy. So three things we have to remember here. First of all, the ionization energy decreases along a group from top to bottom due to increasing atomic size and increasing shielding effect. Okay. Now, the ionization energy increases along a period from left to right due to the combined effect of increasing nuclear charge and decreasing atomic size. Okay. Number 3, the ionization energy of the elements of group 2 are more as compared to 13, due to stable field electronic configuration of the group 2 elements, that is your NS2 as compared to the 13 is your NS2 NP1. Okay. Number 4, the ionization energy of group 15 elements are more as compared to group 16 due to what? Due to the stable half field electronic configuration of NP3 as compared to NP4 of the group 16. Okay. Number 5, the ionization energy of the noble gases are highest in their respective period due to what? Due to completely filled stable electronic configuration. Okay. So this is all about what is the ionization energy. Okay. Here again you see your electron affinity. Okay. Number 2, number 3, electron affinity. Number 3, electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy. So what do we see? See, like the ion energy we have seen, when we remove an electron, so we have to supply the energy. Similarly, if you want to add an electron to a neutral atom to get a negative ion, the energy is released. That is called what? Electron affinity. So electron affinity is the amount of energy released when an extra electron is added to the valency shell of a neutral gaseous atom in order to get a monovalent negative ion. Right? So if I write Cl plus electron, what do you know? Cl minus plus E. So this is the energy released called what? Electron affinity. Okay. And now this electron affinity depends upon what? Atomic size, nuclear charge, electronic configuration. Okay. See, atomic size. If an atom the size is large, if an atom the size is large, then the nucleus will have a lesser force of attraction on the valency shell. So if you want to add an electron to the valence shell, that cannot be accepted easily. If the electron cannot be accepted easily, then energy also will not be released much more. That means the electron affinity will be less. So with the increase in atomic size, the electron affinity decreases. Nuclear charge. If the nuclear charge is more, the nucleus will have the greater force of attraction on the valence shell. So as soon as you add an electron, immediately it will take it. Okay, that means much more amount of energy will be released. So, the electron affinity will increase. So, with the increasing nuclear charge, the electron affinity what? Increases. Okay. Electronic configuration. Already we discussed. The loss or gain of electron is to acquire the stable electronic configuration. If already an atom is having a stable electronic configuration, half filled or full filled, then it will not want to take any extra electron. So, what will happen? The electron affinity will be less. It is 0. If the electronic configuration is completely stable, it will not take any electron. That means there is no release of energy. So, electron affinity will be almost to 0. Okay. Now, let us see if we apply this concept to this period table. And see, if we move in a group from top to bottom, the atomic size is going on increasing. Okay. So, the nucleus will have a lesser force of attraction on the valence shells. Hence, when we are going to add an electron, that cannot be taken easily. So, the energy released will be less. So, if we move in a group from top to bottom, the electron affinity will go on decreasing. Okay. Now, if you move in a period from left to right, the atomic size decreases, the nucleus size increases. So, the nucleus will have the greater force of attraction on the valence shell. So, as soon as you add an electron, immediately it will take it and a large amount of energy will be released. That is why the electron affinity will go on increasing along a period from left to right. Okay. So, but when you think about this one, electronic configuration, here you see, if we move in the period from left to right, the electron affinity will go on decrease, will go on increasing, but at last it becomes 0. Okay. In case of ionization energy, it increases and here it becomes highest. But in case of electron affinity, it increases, but suddenly it becomes 0 because the noble gases are having the stable, completely filled, stable electronic configuration. So, they don't take any electrons and they never release any energy. So, electron affinity of noble gases is 0 due to stable electronic configurations. These things also we can apply in case of group 2 elements. So, here you have NS2, the stable electronic configurations NS2, S is completely filled there. So, they also do not want to take any electron. So, they have also almost 0 electron affinity due to stable electronic configurations. Okay. So, this is the case. However, if I compare between fluorine and chlorine, the electron affinity of chlorine will be more than fluorine. That means, fluorine will be less electron affinity as compared to chlorine. So, already I have told you that electron affinity is going on what? Decreasing along the group from top to bottom. So, it should have more, but actually the electron affinity is more for the chlorine, not for the fluorine. In fact, chlorine is the highest electron affinity element in the period table. Why is it so? In fact, all the elements of period 2 are having less electron affinity as compared to what? The period 3. Then after it goes on decreasing. So actually what happens here, this fluorine atom is having a very small atom, is having very compact size. So due to its compact size, when we are going to add an electron to the valence shell of the fluorine atom, the electrons are already present there and the electron which we are going to add, between them a repulsion occurs. Because of the compact size, the small size of the atom, there occurs repulsion between the electrons already present in the atom and the electrons which we are going to add. That's why the incoming electrons cannot be added easily. That means much more amount of energy will not release. But when you go to case of chlorine, when the size becomes large, so the repulsion between the electrons already present and which we are going to add is not happening. So we can add the electron easily in case of chlorine. So we will get more amount of energy. Okay. So that's why the electron affinity of fluorine is less than chlorine. Why? Due to its compact size, the repulsion occurs between the electrons already present and the electron which we are going to add. Hence, less amount of energy is released. And this concept is applicable to this entire period. Okay. So all the elements of period 2 are having less electron affinity as compared to period 3. Right? So this is about what we know electron affinity. Okay. So what we have to remember here? Point 1, 3 things to remember here. One thing, that the electron affinity goes on decreasing along the group and increasing along the period. Okay. Number 2, noble gas is zero electron affinity. Okay. Number 3, group elements. Okay. Almost to zero electron affinity. Okay. Number 4, the electron affinity of elements of second period are always less as compared to third period. Then after it decreases. Okay. Then your electronegativity 4. Next your electronegativity. What is electronegativity? So electronegativity is the amount of energy needed to attract a shared pair of electron between the two atoms. Okay. So whenever two atoms are sharing electron to form a covalent bond, we will discuss later. Okay. To attract that shared pair of electrons, they need energy, and that energy is called what? Electronegativity. And normally electronegativity equal what? Electron affinity plus ionization energy divided by 2. Generally we can calculate. Okay. And this electronegativity also what happens? So decreases along the group and increases along the period. Okay. So finally we can get the conclusion in these cases, you will see, if I have the group here, okay, and a period here, okay, atomic size, okay, increases decreases, okay, decreases, okay. Ionization energy, okay, increases, your decreases. Electron affinity, increases, decreases. Electronegativity, increases, decreases, okay. So, if you see, only the atomic size decreases along the period, increases along the group. All the other cases like ionization energy, electron affinity and electronegativity increases along the period and decreases along the group, okay. Now, number 5, we discuss the metallic character. See, the metallic character depends upon the ease to lose electron. Normally, the metals are losing the electron easily, and the ease of loss of electron depends upon the ionization energy. More the value of ionization energy, less is the ease of donation of electron. Less is the value of ionization energy, more is the ease of donation of electron. So, if you move in a group from top to bottom, generally the ionization energy is going on decreasing. Hence, the tendency to lose an electron becomes more. Hence, we can say the metallic character increases along a group from top to bottom. So, if you move here from lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, the cesiums will have the most metallic, because it is having what row 375.7 of energy. But lithium is what row 520. Sodium 495, potassium 418, okay, 403, 375, okay. And if you see, if you compare, basically you see, these are the, if you compare here, see, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. If you go here, if you move in this group, these are non-metals. So, gradually when you move down, this becomes the metal. So, this is a metal, okay. So, this is a non-metal, now this is a metal, okay. This is non-metal, okay. Now, this is a metal. So, when you move in the group from top to bottom, the iron size value decreases, hence the metallic artery increases. And if you move in the period from left to right, what happens? The iron energy value is going on increasing, hence the ease to donate electron becomes less. So gradually the metallic artery is decreasing and the non-metallic artery is increasing. Here you see, if I compare here, group 1 is a completely metallic, group 18 completely non-metallic. These are noble gases. You see, sodium is a metal, magnesium metal, aluminum metal, then silicon non-metal, phosphorus, sulfur becomes what? Silicon, aluminum silicon, then phosphorus becomes a non-metal or non-metallic, sulfur, chlorine also non-metals. So non-metallic character gradually increases. You see, if you compare from this S block to P block, S blocks are completely metallic, P's are completely non-metallic, and this change of metallic in non-metallic because of the increase of ion energy, and this occurs through this D block element. Hence, these elements are also called what? The transition elements. Okay. So the conclusion is what? In a group, the metallic artery increases. In a period, the metallic artery decreases. Okay. Number 6 the valency and the oxidation state. Okay. And also we have like melting point, boiling point, density. Okay. And also we have the IUPAC nomenclature of the elements of more than 100 atomic number. This we will discuss in the next class. Okay. Thank you.